Now that we know who the quarterback of the future is, Josh Allen, we have a couple more questions on offense. None bigger than, who is he throwing the ball to? Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and in this edition, we are going to talk about the wide receivers. What wide receivers are available in free agency? Before we do that, however, I just want to remind everyone, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because we will constantly be keeping you updated on all Buffalo Bills news, whether it be trades, whether it be free agency, whether it be signing our new coaches. Who are our new coaches going to be? We still do not know. You want to hit that subscribe button because you'll know all that information and more here on Believers Talk. Hit that notification bell because who knows, maybe we'll go live a little bit. We will be going live for the NFL draft. We will be going live for other big Bills news that happens throughout the offseason. Would love to say news doesn't happen in the offseason, but look at McCoy. Look at Zay Jones. Last offseason, we had a lot of news, and I don't imagine that's going to stop. Hit that notification bell. You'll know of all that news here on Believers Talk. So subscribe, hit the notification bell in this video. Leave a comment below if there's a name I forget. Let me know who you want me to talk about. We'll happily talk about them. So in this edition, we are going to talk about what wide receivers are available in free agency. We all know the wide receiving core is young, right? We have the young guys. So are we looking to get another wide receiver in the draft? Or are we looking at a couple of these free agent guys saying, you know what? That might be the missing piece. Again, we know about the Antonio Brown wanting to be traded news. That news isn't going anywhere. I think by Vegas, we're the third most likely team to get Antonio Brown. I'm not sure if we are, and I know there's plenty of people out there who feel one way or the other about Antonio Brown, but hey, it is what it is, right? If they do sign him, we can only hope that he does wait in Pittsburgh and Buffalo. So we're looking for that clean, clear-cut number one guy, right? And let's see if he is here on the free agent list. This list, I listed them by snaps for this season. Whichever wide receivers took the most snaps this season, those are on top. And guess who's number one? Mr. Reliable Larry Fitzgerald. 873 snaps this season. But you look at that age number. Listen, I'm a huge Larry Fitzgerald fan. Watching his playoff runs a few years ago when he beat the Packers, and then even in that Super Bowl run, the playoff runs that he had, unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And this guy, this wide receiver, future Hall of Famer, he's absolutely unbelievable. This season, he had 69 catches, 734 yards, and 6 touchdowns. At the age of 36, though, do we see him going anywhere else other than staying with Arizona? Seriously, do you see him not ending his career in Arizona? I have a hard time believing that, but we've seen it before, especially in Buffalo. We've seen it with Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas. We've seen guys who have been career guys for the Bills go somewhere else for a year or two just to continue their career, right? I mean, look at basketball. You look at Tony Parker, just did that, right? He wanted to keep playing basketball, but I don't think this is a situation where the Arizona Cardinals want to let Larry Fitzgerald go. If Larry Fitzgerald wants to play, I think the Cardinals want him on that team. Same thing that we did with Kyle Williams this past offseason. That's probably what's going to happen with Larry Fitzgerald. But he is listed as a free agent. The second guy on this list, maybe a little more interesting name, Donte Moncrief, 26 years old. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars, or at least 2018, he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 48 receptions, 668 yards, 3 touchdowns, okay? So that's good for 13.9, almost 14 yards per reception. So those numbers are really good. Is he good enough to be a number one is the question, or does he just fill in with those other number 2/3 guys that we have? That's a question to have, but that's with Blake Bortles as his quarterback, not Josh Allen. So would that make a difference? Again, 26 years old, might be worth that investment to find out. Right? Maybe. All right, then you look down, we got former Buffalo Bill, now with the Patriots, but going to be a free agent this year, Chris Hogan. Okay, Tom Brady did a great job utilizing Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan this season had 35 receptions, 532 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's going to get him paid. Is it going to get him paid and have him come back to Buffalo for a reunion? Not sure about that. He is at that age of 30 years old where you do start wondering how long of a contract he'll have. But again, we don't need to get younger at this position. We just need to get that number one guy. Is Chris Hogan a number one guy, though? And I don't think so. Maybe a slot guy. We have enough of those. So maybe you want to look at Chris Hogan a little bit. But at the same time, he's the same type of receiver we already have. Chris Conley, next on this list, Kansas City Chiefs. He had 32 receptions this year, 334 yards, and 5 touchdowns in an explosive offense where you have a whole bunch of different weapons. Is it a lack of lack of snaps that really made him only have 32 catches this season, or is it with all the other good talent around him? Or was it because he's just not a number 1 receiver? He could be a 2, maybe a 3, but he's coming in free agency. Another guy that I really like, I hope that the Buffalo Bills do take a look at this guy, Adam Humphries of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 26 years old, 76 catches for 816 yards and 5 touchdowns this past season. Those are some great numbers. Those are numbers relevant to a number 1 type wide receiver. Now, he did play number 2 behind Lee Evans, so is he just a really good number 2? We all saw this with Peerless Price. Peerless Price was a great number 2 receiver when we had Eric Moulds, right? He went on to Atlanta to be the number 1, not as good. Okay, so is that the type of situation we're talking about with Adam Humphries? Or is he worth giving a look at that number 1 wide receiver role? Or is he worth bringing in anyway and saying, if we have enough 2s and 3s, maybe we can make that up? We did talk about that with Hashtag Sports in the collab video, but maybe that's a theory that the Bills have that they can make work, whether you agree with it or not, and maybe that's why you bring in Adam Humphries. Definitely an interesting name. He's young. He has the numbers. He does have a little fumbling issue, had 2 fumbles this year, but maybe that's something we can correct. Going down this list, now you talk about Terrell Williams, 27 of the LA Chargers, had 41 catches, 653 yards, 5 touchdowns, again, 2 fumbles. We saw him was it Saturday or Sunday against the Patriots? Sunday against the Patriots. He had a decent day, but is he worth bringing in to Buffalo? Again, is he that number 1 guy that you want? Is he a possession receiver, or is he more of a slot guy? We saw what he did against Buffalo earlier in the season. I think he had a touchdown in that game too, but that was more in the slot. So is that the type of guy we want? Again, we have a lot of slot receivers, so what are we looking for? John Brown of the Baltimore Ravens, a little bit older, 29 years old, 42 receptions, 715 yards, and 5 touchdowns this past season. You all love seeing that touchdown number, right? We want to see a big touchdown number there. That's why there's interest in Antonio Brown, because of the yards and touchdowns, right? Because of the productivity. If Antonio Brown is not a productive wide receiver and he was doing what he's doing now, no one would take a look at him. No one would want him, right? But since he is that productive, then people are going to take a look. He is going to get traded somewhere. So, with that being said, look at John Brown. Is that type of receiver we want? Cole Beasley of Dallas, 30 years old. We all know Cole Beasley as a slot guy. He's good at what he does, but again, the Buffalo Bills have a lot of other position wide receivers that fill that role. So would he be coming in? Probably not. A guy I'm really interested in, who if we saw this past season against Tre'Davious White, killed us a little bit. Robbie Anderson of the New York Jets, 26 years old, 50 catches, 752 yards, 6 touchdowns this season. Again, is that going to be number 1? I think so. I really do think so. I think Robbie Anderson is probably one of the best young receivers on this list. Leave a comment if you disagree, but I think Robbie Anderson is definitely someone worth taking a look at, especially since we know what he can do, right? We play against him 2 times a year for the past, I think, 3 seasons, right? 4 seasons maybe. So we know what he can do. We know he's productive. Maybe he's worth giving a look, right? We know the Jets, with their whole new coaching situation, who knows if they'd be interested in re-signing Robbie Anderson? Who knows? Sam Darnold might talk him up because he is a great wide receiver. He really is. He's one of the best talented wide receivers on this list. And I would really want to give him a look and not just brush him off to the side. I think he'd be worth the look. They have Josh Gordon, 20 years old in New England. We all know Josh Gordon had injury problems. And, of course, he might not be ready to play next season. And if he is ready to play, the league might not let him play. He had another stint with the drug alcohol thing. It's his 3rd or 4th one. So he is suspended until further notice. I mean, he can be suspended for the rest of his career. We do not know. And that's not a risk anybody wants to take. Obviously, no one's going to touch him until the NFL at least lets us know what the remainder of his penalty is, whether it be another whole season or what that might be. We don't know, and he's already 20 years old, so how many more years does he have to leave the NFL for a season and come back and still be productive on the field? Who knows? Who knows? Jermaine Kearse, wide receiver of the New York Jets, 29 years old, not as good as Robbie Anderson, and Jermaine Kearse has been around for a little bit, and he's a good wide receiver, talented wide receiver. 37 receptions this season, 371 yards per 10 yards per reception, and then 1 touchdown. So we know he has talent. He spent some time in Tennessee as well. But is he a good number 1? He is a good possession receiver, and that's exactly what I think the Buffalo Bills need. And then we go down to a name that a lot of people are mentioning. a lot of people mention because of the ties with Carolina, and that's Funchess, right? Devin Funchess. He had 622 yards snaps this season, 44 receptions for 549 yards and 4 touchdowns with Cam Newton. 25 years old, so again, a younger guy. Could come in, potentially be a number one. He was a number one in Carolina with Cam Newton. Can he fill that role as number one in Buffalo? Between him and Robbie Anderson, I think those are the two guys we really have to take a look at, and I'd be happy if we got either one of those guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I know a lot of you do not like Funchess, or maybe a lot of you are just hating because you hear his name a lot, but I think we have to give him a look, and if he is under that cap number that we're looking at, maybe he's worth keeping, right? Maybe that's, whatever his salary is, maybe he's worth taking a look at, because it's not going to be that huge, right? But is it going to be worth it? Is his production going to be worth it? Can he be a number one in Buffalo? Going through some other names, those are the 5 names I'm really interested in, and then I listed some others in there. You look at David Moore of Seattle, 24 years old, younger guy. I think he's a speed guy, though, and again, we have lots of those, but 26 catches for 445 yards, and that's with the Seattle offense that wasn't that great this season. Spent a lot of time running the ball, 5 touchdowns. Again, a nice number. You're talking about 26 catches, 5 touchdowns. That's 1 touchdown every 5 catches. So that's not bad, right? 20% of your catches are touchdowns. That is pretty good. We want those type of numbers, but can he be that number one possession receiver we're looking for? Probably not. Golden Tate, 31 years old, Philadelphia. He seemed to get hotter and hotter as the season went on in Philadelphia. As soon as he got connected with Nick Foles, it seemed like they were able to produce on the field a little bit more. He had 74 receptions this season, 795 yards, 4 touchdowns. So again, maybe good enough to be a number one receiver. Maybe good enough to open up the field for a Robert Foster or maybe even a Zay Jones. So let's look at him a little bit. Chester Rogers of the Indianapolis Colts, again, a younger guy, 25 years old, 53 receptions, 485 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he had Andrew Luck throwing the ball, still only got 53 receptions. I like Josh Allen. I'm not going to say he's as good as Andrew Luck yet, but we'll look anywhere for wide receivers, because again, a wide receiver is definitely a position of need, especially getting some veteran guys in there. Ryan Grant of the Indianapolis Colts, he is also a free agent, so you figure they're going to sign one or the other. To be honest with you, I would probably go with the younger guy in Chester Rogers, so maybe he won't even be available, but Ryan Grant's available too. Kelvin Benjamin, we can bring Kelvin Benjamin back. Come on back. We miss you. Get injured again. Come on. Oh, don't practice with Josh Allen. No, it's fine. It's fine. You don't need practice with your quarterback. You're only a wide receiver. Guys, if we can come Benjamin back, I will be very upset. Very, very upset. But he's going to be a free agent. So good luck to him wherever he goes. I'm sure he'll make fun of Josh Allen as soon as he goes there. And then Josh Allen will play Carolina in preseason, or play wherever team he goes to in the preseason. And he won't want to talk to Josh Allen either. It's kind of his thing. And then you got Zach Pascal, wide receiver, 24 years old, again, of the Indianapolis Colts, 27 receptions, 268 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, you want to keep that young nucleus together, and so I think they might want to try to re-sign him. But those are the wide receivers who are available. So, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, what you doing? We did the running backs last episode. We did the wide receivers this episode. You know what that means, right? We got offensive line coming up, tight ends coming up. We got defensive cornerbacks coming up, maybe some other positions in there. Defensive tackle with Kyle Williams retiring. Got a couple positions of need in Buffalo. We're going to go over those free agents because we have to fill someone with free agency. We don't just have all these draft picks. We go pick. And you don't always want to do that. You want veteran leadership on your team. We're losing that with Kyle Williams. So where will we look for veteran leadership now? We know Josh Allen's going to be that leader on offense, but he might need some help. Might need someone to catch the ball too. So look at that wide receiver. You want to hit that subscribe button, guys, because we're going to give you continuing content, whether it be at Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres, Buffalo Bulls, who are ranked 16th now. Again, first time ranked in school history. We're loving this season. Let's keep it going. And we also keep you updated on all draft. We're going to go live for the draft. We're going live for the NFL draft. Keep you updated on free agency news. Any trades, any big trades, especially here in Buffalo, we're going to let you know about them. Maybe we do trade for Antonio Brown. We'll see. But you'll find it all here on Believers Talk. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment. Maybe there's a wide receiver out there going to be a free agent who you're like, Joe, you didn't mention this guy. What's going on? Talk to you about it in the comment section below. But thank you for joining me on Believers Talk again. Hope to see you all soon. Till I do, go Bills.